Hey friends, welcome back to part 2 of the Goliath painting video. So let's hit the table and finish that up. Then I'll show you what it looks like after we're done. Start out, I'm going to use black and this very thin brush, very small brush. And this critter has a myriad of eyes on the face here. And in the picture it shows, you always kind of want to go by the picture. You don't always totally have to, but I like to try to go by the picture. The picture for this critter, he had a bunch of eyes, and so I want to paint, and they're black, and I want to paint those black. So I'm just painting all the different little eyes on the face black. You can see there's a bunch of different eyes. Make sure you get them all. Alright, cool. So now I've got my small brush again, and I've got a little bit lighter green than I used before. And I'm going to kind of ring some details on the face. There's kind of where the ear was. Just some highlights. Pick out a few extra highlights. I'm not going to pick out every single highlight, but I'm going to do like the highlight above the eyes. That'll just make the eyes stand out more, right? And like I say, it does look a little lighter than when it dries. So you can see that the eyes stick out much better with that little highlight above them. Do a little bit around the mouth. Just kind of on the face because that's the focal point. Alright, cool. Alright, now I have white. Use my small brush again. And I want to do the pupils of the eyes. So these eyes, they were black and they had white pupils. So I'm putting that in there. Kind of a nice, creepy effect. Okay, there we go. Cool. Alright, now I have a like a golden brown, and my brush is pretty wet, and I'm gonna do the base of the teeth. You don't want just gleaming white teeth on your critters. This gives them a little bit of age. Kind of a nice way to do some age on the teeth, or bones actually. So there we go. Nice. Now I've got my black again. And one thing with big creatures is it's just a big green area. So I want to break that up with some kind of pattern on the creature. And so you'll see there's a method to my madness here, but I'm just painting this kind of marks on it, right? And I'm using my brush fairly wet because I kind of want it to, look, the flesh come through a little bit, the marks. Okay, now I'm going to use a dark brown, a burnt umber, and paint the base. It's kind of a desert, rocky desert area that these guys are in the mine, so I want to kind of match the game board tiles that came with the game. So I'm going to start out with a dark brown, and I'm putting on fairly wet, and just covering that up. Okay, so now I've got my light green again and a yellow. Okay, I'm going to use a small brush. I'm going to kind of mix that up. And I'm going to kind of fill, I want to get a different kind of color, so I'm going to kind of fill those areas in with the spots. And then the stripes, I'm going to fill out the middle of those. So you see that gives a really neat effect. It couldn't be easier. And that just really breaks up that back. It's just kind of boring. Cool. Alright, now I've got a cherry red. And I'm going to accentuate some of those lines again when I did the raspberry on the tongue. Just kind of painting the crevices there of the tentacle tongue. And that'll really accentuate those. Alright, cool. Looking pretty creepy. Alright, sweet. Alright, now I have a kind of a soft brush, and I'm going to use a burnt sienna on the base. And this is, like I say, I'm going for the kind of desert look. So I'll put that over the dried base. Just kind of dry brush it on there. Cool. Alright, now I have an even lighter brown. And I'll do some more base. You see, that's really making that look like that sandstone type stones there. Cool. Really matches the tiles that came with the game. Okay, now I'm going to use some white and a brush. It's soft bristles, but it's kind of like a chisel edge, so I can kind of pick out the skeleton that's on here. Now, I put these skeletons on separately. They didn't come with the model, as well as the construction sand I used on the base. And see how bright those are. Those look kind of goofy that they're so bright, but we'll take care of that in a sec. So make sure you get all the details on the skeletons. Be careful not to get it on the base. If you do, it's not a disaster. You can always cover it up. Okay, now I'm going to use my golden brown again. And this does some really cool magic. Get it wet. And look at that. It really makes that bone look aged. Very nice. Cool. Alright. Back to my black again. And a whiter chisel brush. And I'm going to kind of do the edge where some of the brown got on it, just to define it better. So I'll have a black edge. Alright, back with my white. And I'm going to use a smaller chisel edge here. I'm going to kind of paint some highlights on those skeletons after the golden brown is dried, of course. So you get a little bit of white on there, but not, I'm not putting as much as I initially put on there. So you get the nice variation in shade with the kind of the old bones. And I'm going to use the this water-based polyacrylic for the tongue. So I want the tongue to look glossy. So I'm going to use my brush, get it on there. I like this stuff because it's water-based. You can just clean your brushes with soap and water when you're done. Now when I put it on here, I don't want to put it on too thick because it'll look hazy if you do. So make sure you spread it out. You don't want any big clumps of the stuff between the tentacles and stuff because it'll get hazy. So just make sure you thin it out when you put it on. And also I was going to put it on the arms, the suction cups for the arms. So there we go. Give that a nice wet look. You can do the eyes too. So here guys, here's the Shadows of Brimstone set the Goliath came in. Let me give you a closer look at it here. But first I wanted to show you the tiles that come with the set. So that's the tile that comes with the Shadows of Brimstone. And I tried to paint the base to match it. The skeletons give a really nice touch. Like I said, those didn't come with the set. I put those on extra. And now we'll give you a look at the Goliath, closer look. I really like the slimy tongue. It's a nice paint job. It's, I call it table ready. It's not, totally magazine professional standard, but it's a nice standard of tabletop play, and I think that's really important. And like I said, I broke the back up with those markings. I think that really is a good technique for giant creatures that just have large areas on them. And there we go. I hope this was helpful to those of you starting out painting, and take care and happy crafting. Let's put you away, buddy. Hey craft friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Craft. If you did, make sure to give your Scotty a like. Also, make sure to join my Facebook and forum group. Lovely bunch of people with some great ideas, and we'd love to share with everybody. Also, make sure to consider tipping DM Scotty if you really enjoy these videos and you get something out of them, and you want to help a DM out. You can do the tip jar. Also, my Patreon group is growing, and become a member of the family. I have new levels of pledging. $3 level, you get mentioned in a video. $1 level, you get my new monthly magazine, which is going to be so awesome, packed full of fun DM Scotty ideas. And last but not least, go forth and craft. Make sure to look for more Scotty miniature painting videos, Kai.